Kaboom goes a boom when the stream goes kaboom. Kaboom goes the stream when the stream goes kaboom. Kaboom goes the stream when the danger-filled lands. Everyone's happy, everyone put up your hands. Kaboom goes the stream when I've got nothing to say. Kaboom goes the stream when I like it when it's Oliver Frey doing the drawings on 2000 AD. Kaboom, boom, boom. It was actually Zap 64. He done the drawings for and crash. That's right. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Too much tip. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Kaboom goes the stream. Go on, sing it, I dare. Kaboom goes the stream. You can just put in your own words. That's the beauty of it. Just get that first line in. Ready? I'll count you in. We can all sing it together. 1, 2, 3, and kaboom goes the stream when... That's your bit. Kaboom goes the stream when... So, for instance, you might have a cup of tea. Kaboom goes the stream when I'm drinking my tea. You might be having a snout. Kaboom goes the stream when I light up my ciggy. Kaboom goes the stream when I hit my vape. Kaboom goes the stream when Adele loses a snake. It's just, it's more of a multi-purpose song. Morning. So I've had a couple of days off. There's good and bad news. Well, the good news is I'm back. The good news is, check this out, actual mind over matter, actual psychosomatic enchanting. I was talking with my missus, everything nice, everything good, and I thought, oh, what's the time? And I looked at the time, and it was like, you can't see me. You can't see the numbers. And it's really weird, because it's like a little... You know, the migraine zigzag sort of hole into the void of existence starts off about like a pinprick. But it's obviously at your point of focus. It's right there. So when I could see everything, you know, everything was fine. But when I looked at the time, because it was my point of focus, it was just going, no. The time is infinity. I was like, that can't be the time. Surely it's not chatter. And that right there is the spirit, without a doubt. Kaboom goes Alan. Nice one, Alan. Hope you're all right, mate. Did you have the weekend off, son? So I couldn't tell the time, and I said to my missus, I went, right, that's it. I've got a migraine coming on. This was Friday night, right? Turned the lights out, sunglasses on, turned round, over there. That's migraine corner, because it's all blue walls, not white. And I just went over there, and I could see it doing its hideous magic where it starts growing. And as a hole, it's a hole. How horrible is that? Like a chasm into your anti-brain. Sunday morning, delightful, most delightful. Kaboom! And then I just thought, I'm not having it. I thought, this is my brain, and what my brain says goes. No shit. Listen to this, right? Yes, Pax Max. Kaboom goes my vision. Thank you, Broken Silence. It's just a shame, though. They say a week is a long time in politics, but 2 days, fuck me. So much has happened. There's so much to talk about, and we will. So anyway, thank you, Kieran. Good. Kieran, I can go like 5 years without having one, but I do tend to have little bouts of them. And, you know, I've kept my diary. When I have the first one, what's that? I'm proper like on DEFCON migraine 4 at the moment. Like there's obviously something on my glasses, but as soon as I see it, I get the fear. Alan, thank you for that donation, by the way, in all seriousness. I just thought, this is my head, so I'm going to sort this out. And hello, Skin Scar, good to see you, mate. I I just thought no. So I just meditated. And don't listen to Russell Brand's 10-minute, I am the Lord, focus on moi. No, meditating is just being aware of yourself. That's it. That is it. Many Buddhas, and they are Buddhas, by the way. Buddhism, this idea that you're a Buddhist is wrong. Buddha wrote stuff down so that other people could become Buddhas, not Buddhists, not followers of a deity, but actual Buddhas. You know, you're a Buddha if you learn what he said. And I just thought, so I just done that. All I do is be aware of my breathing and that I'm alive. And so I just breathe in slowly, in my nose, out through my nose, eyes shut, and I shit thee nay. The little sort of hole, it's all zigzags and it's blue and yellow. And if I get a migraine, trust me, the headache is the easy part of it. That's just an headache. It's the draining. It's what it does to my thought. You know, I get all panicky and stressed and miserable, and it's just rank, right? And this hole that started opening up, then it went and it became an arc, and that's typical too. It starts as a hole and then it becomes an arc, and it was all round here, like zigzags, blue, orange, a little red bit in there. All horrible it is. And then I noticed it retreating a little bit, and I thought, you've got this. And then as I sort of, you know, because although meditation's easy, it's not, although it's simple, it's not that easy, because then I hear a noise out in the distance and oh, what was that? And then I'm thinking about things to do with work, and then the zigzags get bigger, and then no, come back, breathe, just be aware that you don't want this. You don't need it. I know what you're telling me, brain. You're saying you need to rest. I get it. The message has been sent to me. I will rest. Breathe in. And it was like a weird battle. Honestly, it was my own personal Agincourt. I'm serious. It was like a fight, and it would retreat a bit, and I've never had that. And it would grow a bit, and it would retreat. I think actually I have had it before. I've tried this before, but this one stands out because I won. It didn't get old, because there's a point of no return where it gets old. I've got tunnel vision and I'm freezing cold, all that usual shit. But no, it just went, and I saw it getting smaller and smaller. And of course, once I was motivated, I thought, you can do this. You can get shot of it. And I did. Now, I did have an headache and I had to go to bed, and the next day was a write-off, but it wasn't a migraine. It wasn't all that horrible stuff, because when you get caught up in a proper migraine, it's such a, you know, it's like 48 hours of mortality. You just think about death, and not in a positive way. You just feel like you're deteriorating, and it's really dark. It's really horrible. So to have beaten that and taken the message that it was giving me, you need to rest more. I need to sleep more. I need to work less. That's what I need to do. So I will be, and already have. But lovely to be back streaming. Let me get this. Kieran, I'll tell you what, it's lovely that you say that, actually, because the amount of people who go, oh, I get terrible migraines. And I go, what do you get? And they go, oh, it's just such a bad headache. And okay, I don't expect everyone to be right about everything, but that's not a migraine. That's a bad headache. And bad headaches can be freaking awful, of course. But the amount of people I've had tell me that they get migraines, and I don't want to be the arsehole going, yeah, what is a migraine? That's not a migraine. But it usually isn't. It usually isn't. Mousecat says, my brain, migraine. I didn't even get it until I said it. You've got to say it to have them. Like I say, I'll go years without it. And then I'll get because I'm working too hard and I'm not resting enough. It's not even to do with sleep, it's to do with rest, Like the other night, I thought, I'll watch a movie. What did I do? A movie review. That was meant to be a time just for me to enjoy a film, but I turned it into a review. It's nice to, I've just got to rest a bit more. My missus said the same as well. She said, you work all the time. You're always working. And I said, all right. And she said, you get out of bed, you're at the computer and you're working. So this morning I didn't. I didn't do any work for it. She's just sitting here eating, actually. It looks god awful. Hello, Chris. John says exactly the old Western Buddha larp. Yeah, it's such an overcomplicated load of drivel. I know I've said it before, but when Leonard Cohen went to become a Buddha, went to the temple, they done his little initiation. They said, go and play tennis for a couple of weeks. And he was like, what? Don't I have to clean the place with a toothbrush or something? They said, no, because you've spent the last 40 years of your life working. Enlightenment means to lighten up. Lighten up. Just lighten up, mate. There's a tennis court down there. You know, go and play tennis for a couple of weeks. There's plenty of people down there need to play. It's amazing, isn't it? It was amazing that Cohen wanted to go to a temple so that he could work harder. That was his way of. It's weird how the brain works, isn't it? No, I'm going to go and become a Buddha, you know, and they'll really discipline me, and I'll really get my work ethic. And they said, no, that's the mistake you've already made. You're not going to be doing more of that. Play tennis. Yes, Alan, it's much like that, which is, you know, you don't want that, do you? Now I've got something to read you all, people. There's enough people here. Thank you, Mike Collins. That's for the MyGrift, I think we'll call it. The MyGrift. Well, I have missed out on 2 days 4-stream MyGrift. So if you want to, although I have got a scrub offering me a very lucrative project, but I don't know if I can pull it off, but we'll see. Loki, hello, mate. Glad you're feeling better. I've had one. I thought I was dying. Yeah, that's what I meant about that mortality. It's so of death, and in a really negative way, because, you know, I like to think about death. I like that, as you all know, the figure of death is something that interests me. But when you're physically weak and mentally weak, you're also emotionally and spiritually weak. So it's not like you can deal with it. You can't sort of. It's not a positive death. It's fucking idiots, but very nice. Hello, Dawn. Hello, beautifuls. I'm listening to Aussie lawyers on another live stream. Read Victoria's new bill proposal. Yeah, it's messy out there, Dawn. It's really messy out where you are. I've been looking at that. Well, there you go, Flammadiddler. That's exactly what I'm happening. That's exactly what has been happening. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, the first time I had it, I didn't know what was happening. I was saying to my friends, I was going, I can put my hand there and it just disappears. My hand disappears. And they were going, you tripping? I was like, no, I've had one beer. But nice one, Mike, for that donation. Nice one, Chris. Oh, I love Leonard Cohen. Otto Sump thought Leonard Cohen was a Jew. I think he's Jewish. Leonard Cohen. Cohen is is a Jewish name. I don't think that prevents you from being a Buddhist, studying Buddhism, does it? Nice one, Chrissy. Thank you very much. Mikey is going to have another Crack Diaries listen. Well, that's going to get written up as a 3-parter. Most of it's actually already done. But the problem with telling those stories, there's a lot missing, because obviously I was just doing it off, you know, what I could just remember at the time. Thank you, Dawn, for the super sticker. Is it super? Splendid. I might have to talk to Mrs. got a fucking, what is it? Minnie Mouse ears on. Oh. Okay. Right. Steady on broken silence. Dawn, I'll have a word with Susan, see if we can get that turned into a splendid sticker. Right, what we've got going on? Hello, Patrick. Western Buddhists I've met have been terribly passive aggressive. Yeah, I mean, you know, all people, you know, in all walks of life, there's good and bad people, and there's some people that are bad some of the time, some people that are good some of the time. I don't think you can just study Buddhism and be good. I definitely know the types you mean. They're kind of above you. And you're like, that's not what I thought this would be about. I didn't expect you to talk down to me. Mike's obsessed. Oh, you'll love the 3-part novellas then. There's loads more. That if you really like it, Mikey, there's loads more stuff that happened. Loads more. Guns in mouths. Not my gun. Yes, my mouth. Right, let me get this grift sorted out. I've got a lot of clips for you. We've got to talk about Rittenhouse. Some weird shit going on with Rittenhouse. I'm hoping rolling my R there will keep me off the keep my channel from lighting up like a Christmas tree at Censorship HQ. What am I doing here? It's been a while. I've only got to not stream for a couple of days and I don't know what's going on. It's not strictly true. Salty Cracker was on form though. That was nice to be able to listen to that. Fuck me, the money the man makes. He tells them to stop. And look, listen. I love people making money from streaming because when I was in nationalist circles, I got it. That's why I call it a grift. For newcomers who don't realise this, that's why I call it the grift because he's a grifter. Yes, love. Pardon? I go back to home. Okay. See you later. Bye bye. Bye, love. Very discreet. And you don't see that on the left. You watch leftist YouTubers earning money. No one. They're happy because that means the person they're donating to is going to be encouraged to do more, get better. It can become a full-time job like Salty Cracker. That's now his livelihood. And that's why he's brilliant. And that's why he gets to a point on YouTube where he says, I'll see you over on Rumble. And it's like 50, 50, 20, 5, 5, 5, 5, 20, 50, 100, 200, 200. And in the end, he says, stop donating. I've got enough. He's so good, though. And he's on our side and so brilliant. It's amazing that these people, and I'm just getting a little bit of color. It's too blue, man. Far too blue. I think it's that. I think it sets everything off. That's a bit better, isn't it? He's so on fire at the moment. If you're not watching, no, Alan, we've got 2 to do this month. We've got 2. It'll be when the missus goes. She's going to go in a few days. Thank you, Brian. That's very kind of you. Another splendid sticker. Splendid sicker? What? Because I've been ill. My own little Freudian slip there. Thank you, Brian. Appreciato. Yeah, man, it's good. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. You'll enjoy it, Mikey. I mean, if you like it that much, I mean, what could be better than more of it? More. All right. So yeah, that's why I call it the grift. Because how weird is that for people in your own political realm having a go at you for taking donations? How dare you take donations for your time and energy? What? So bizarre. Paxmax says, sorry, y'all. I'm having waffle Sunday morning with Dangers and Co. Freaking awesome. I don't know who you're apologising to. Waffle Sunday morning. Is it like a savoury or sweet waffle? I'm unsure what that said. Yeah. Just keep it down, love. Good comment. Dawn's watching you in the chat while listening to Oz legalities. No more swimming lessons for young children. I think I've got a little clip about Oz. I mean, what the fuck is happening? But we know what's happening. There's a communist, and I think we should keep our meme guns loaded with communist bullets. We should call it what it is. There's a communist administration in America at the moment. That's what's happening. And they're doing as much damage as they can before they get caught out. And they're being caught out right now. The gubernatorial races, etc., which was more... I mean, AP and Reuters and all that have already called New Jersey, but apparently there's like 1,500 votes in it. I don't know if you know this, but the Republican candidate spent about $130. He's a truck driver. He made a video on an iPhone. Hi. I'm a truck driver. I don't like what I've seen in this county. Apparently there's something like 1,500 votes in it, and they're still counting. Now, they shouldn't still be counting. Voting day, polling day starts and ends. Well, that's how it used to be. but they'll keep counting until he loses. But I think if the media and the Republicans, I don't think they saw this coming, but if they'd have got behind him, he would have easily won that. He would have absolutely won that. There you go, $153. Yeah, when it's something like not even a dinner, it was just like tea, coffee, and donuts for like his little crew. It's rather peculiar. Yes, Otto, that's a very good point. I think we should call it that. I really think we should call it that. And one of the videos I'm going to show you a little bit of, she just outright calls them socialists. But so much to say, I still haven't got this freaking grift sorted. Hang on, give me a couple of seconds. Go live, fire. But there's so much to be happy about at the moment. I mean, I know it's very hard to motivate people, but I've also got to read you that. I've also got to read you something. I might start off with that, actually. Something really encouraging as well. But I don't know if you've noticed, and I know there's a lot of pessimism among us at the moment. However, let me just find this video. Not video, this email. Damn, what have I done with it? Maybe it came to a different email. No, it would have been that one. Don't say I deleted it. Oh, man. 1 second, people. Sorry, I know this is not good time. Yeah. 1 second, sorry, people. This is worth it. Got a very interesting email. Well, I've got it. Right, so sorry, people, that was a bit dire. But if you haven't noticed, the backlash is on. It's happening. It started. It's on. It is happening. And I tell you now, I will call this, and you can. A year later, you can say you were so wrong. But it's over. It's over. The battle against the communist forces of the US is on. The midterms are going to be an absolute bloodbath, and at all levels. And they will be doing this now. Republicans will now be getting in as school governors. They'll be getting in as in every single position. They'll be going for local attorney positions. What you're going to see now in America, without any doubt, is essentially a quick march through the institutions, because it's ripe for it now. It's absolutely ripe for it. And I feel that even the Republicans and even the conservative media were kind of caught out by what happened in the gubernatorial races. I think they were kind of caught out. And I honestly think it's on. I think the next couple of years are going to be splendid. There's going to be plenty of Democrat, what you could call victories en route. There'll be ridiculous bills passed and things. That's definitely going to happen. But I think they'll be largely reversible. Largely. I mean, it's not going to be what's it called? A cake ride? Is that a thing? A cake? It's not going to be a cakewalk. Cakewalk. That sounds about right. Let me check it. I know it is a thing. I think I've got it right. Cakewalk. It'd be nice to know where it come from. Cakewalk. Meaning. Cakewalk. An absurdly or surprisingly easy task. There you go. Historical. A dancing contest amongst Black Americans in which a cake was awarded as a prize. That's where it comes from. So how ironic that this won't necessarily be a cakewalk. But cake ride was a little bit peculiar. I'll give you that. 102 people in on the Sunday morning stream. Absolutely lovely. Don in Armour is going to have a pork pie and some mushy peas. Look after yourself, mate. Enjoy your pie and peas. Broken Silence suggests an invasion of Australia, kick out the government, replace the cops, have a massive barbie, and sit back and watch women's volleyball. Okay. In Minecraft, of course, there'll be no invasions on this channel for your own protection. Yeah, fair. Yes, but I think that's part of it. I think that's part of it, Matt. I think that. Well, look, there's a measure coming up, isn't there? There's something where we can measure, and it will be the midterms, and I think it will be kind of crazy. Banana cream pie. Oh, that sounds lovely. Is that a real thing? Good Lord, that sounds amazing. Sorry, Wolfie. I'll take them for a walk down my gullet. Hello, Glenn. You all right, son? No. Right. I think I finally got the grift sorted. Bosh, bosh, bosh. You know the coup by now, people. All right, there. You can support this channel by becoming a member. Members get private streams. There's free strata. If you join the top stream, you can see all the private streams. Join the middle one, the bottom two. Join the bottom one, just that one. The bottom one's about a quid a month. So that's all right. I think the top one's about 6-7 quid a month, maybe less because it's in dollars. That's one way. Subscribe star, that's a monthly thing, but you can do one-offs there. I think I've got about 5 subscribe stars. Yay! But I really thank you for those people, believe me. What else is there? Oh, it's a motorbike. Fuck me, I thought the earth was oofing. Super chat is the $ sign at the bottom of the chat over there, but you can use entropy. Entropy is very good because you don't give the tubes a penny. I will put the entropy link into the chat. It's also in the description, but I will pin up. It should be up there now. I'm sure it is. There you go. Don't expect to get rich out of this lark, but I do like a few donations because I put a lot of time, effort, passion and research into it. And the truth is, you lot are great because although some days I take about a quid, some days I take a few quid, and it's nice. So thank you all for when you do and when you have donated. Right, now listen, I'm going to leave the names out of this next. I'm going to read you an email. I don't know if the fella's in here. But he sent me a cracking video that I really enjoyed. So, but listen, and I'm going to have to give you a little aside after a little bit. He says this. Hi, Chris. I thought you may enjoy this epic story of the rise and fall of the Khmer Empire. Now, if you don't know, go and watch mine and History Bros talk about Angkor Wat. Angkor Wat was one of the biggest civilizations in the world when there was 1 million people living at Angkor. Because Angkor Wat means temple, and Angkor is, I think, meant the king's temple. But it was actually the heart of a big civilization that had irrigation, sewage systems. It was like a functioning, it was the Pearl of Asia, they called it. When London had 30,000 people there, Angkor had 1 million. So that's just when often we compare what we built in England and the West compared with what Africa built, and they're fair equivalents. But Angkor had 1 million people living in an irrigated and they hand dug reservoirs that are like 20 football pitches big. Seriously, they hand dug these huge reservoirs so that monsoon season could be utilized for water for the rest of the year, because from usually about now until around April, there's no rain. So a little bit here and there, but not enough to keep 1 million people bathed and drinking. So anyway, I thought you may enjoy this epic story of the rise and fall of the Khmer Empire. It's written and narrated by a YouTuber called Fall of Civilizations. All of his episodes are worth checking out. This one in particular may interest you as it outlines the history and origins of the nation you now call home. I'm very glad to see you looking happy and well with your sweet lady there. Then he says this. You may or may not remember, but you consoled me after the untimely death of my brother, found dead in a hostel in Cambodia after he overdosed on crystal meth. Now, I do remember. I don't remember the full details because it was a while back, but this fella's brother married someone, the details, these days, I think she might have been a Singapore lady, but she started going a bit cranky. He started getting on drugs. It turned out she was sending money to some bloke in Turkey. He got on the tackle, started seeing Oz and on the meth. And one day, the fella writing to me, the scrub writing to me, emailed me and was just devastated because his brother had died. And they had a pretty good childhood. The mother was good, but the father was a doctor and an alcoholic and a cocaine addict, and that's gonna cause problems to an upbringing. And a fucking sad story. I'm not very close with my brother, but I know brothers who are, and to see your brother just go down that kind of road and die, horrific. So I did remember about this fellow's brother. And then he says this: my brother regularly visits me in my dreams, and strangely enough, we are now closer than ever, albeit in the ethereal dimension that is the dreamscape. Now check this. You will be delighted to know that I am now 11 months teetotal and going strong. So this geezer has got clean. He's 11 months. Done it. I am the happiest, healthiest and strongest that I have ever been. This is an 11 in the chat, by the way, people. Much needed in these troubling times ahead. And I like that. I like the way that he sees struggle and he's sorted himself out. He sees trouble. There will be trouble ahead. And even getting through the death of a brother and all this kind of stuff and saying, right, what decisions need making now to put me in a position to deal with the future? And he done it. And check this out. You have definitely played a part in my path to sobriety, along with the rest of the scrubs sharing their respective journeys on this path. So for that, I am most grateful. And I wake up every day with a big smile on my face, knowing that I have now put that toxic lifestyle behind me for good. I am now solely focused on getting stronger and accumulating resources to prepare me for what's coming down the road here in England. Feel free to share my success story and the cautionary tale of my brother's demise on your broadcast if you wish. And then he says he can send me the original email about his brother, but I remembered it. Amazing. And when we've had I get so many emails of people saying I'm 6 months clean, I'm a year clean, I'm this, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without the streams. Amazing. And that's the stuff that you do. That's just, I could sit here talking on my own, but when you've got many other people, I'm going to get my 11 in the chat. When you've got many other people, it's not even nice one, people. I've just seen all the 11s come through. Not only is it helpful when people say I've got clean or I've done this, but just you can get rid of all that shame and guilt. When you suddenly realise that Europe is struggling from a drug and alcohol epidemic that's been foisted on our people since the 60s. We're all hippies, yeah. They sold drugs to us. They sold it to people of European descent. We were sold this idea of getting on drugs and turning on, tuning in and dropping out. And the only people who really turned on, tuned in and dropped out were people who had enough money to mean that when they turned on, tuned in and dropped back in again, mum and dad had sort them out. The rest of them were just fucked. Sorry about the noise. It was an angle grinder earlier, and it might be an angle grinder again in a minute, but it would appear to be in short bursts. So I'm not going to name you, mate, but nice one on that email. I certainly do remember the story about your brother. And well done, you. Incredible. Well done. Don't get what's the word? Well, just remember where you've been, and you don't want to get back there again. It's amazing. What an amazing thing. Right, so there was that. Now, what have I got to show you? This is what I say about naming them. When you talk about, when you're on social media talking about the Joe Biden administration, call them what? Name them. Call them communists. Call them socialists. But call it. You know, I think this needs to get out there. And much like, you know, I said this the other day. We've been talking about critical race theory for 3 or 4 years. We've been talking about the stuff that's now mainstream for 3 or 4 years. We lost friends, we lost family. We had to huddle together on weird little streams in the back of the internet. We had to start talking in code and in slang. Well, some of us lost bank accounts. Some of us were in the Times being told that we were grooming teenage Nazis. You know, it's been hard. It's been hard for a lot of us, and yet we can definitely tap ourselves on the back, because without that, the mainstream would be 4 or 5 years behind. They wouldn't be tackling this stuff. Without a doubt, that's how culture works. It comes up from the grassroots, the likes of you and me, the people like you and me who shared streams, who supported streams, who went on streams, who talked about streams, talked to their friends, had the balls to actually call out things and not care when people called us racist, homophobic, Nazis. Okay, all right, okay. Yeah, now you've called me names. Do you want to get back to the discussion? Because I've got some statistics, I've got some evidence, I've got some things that might actually make you think again. And so the fact that this is now being talked about in the mainstream media is important. But we shouldn't be complacent, because the next thing is to name these people. They're communists, they're Marxists, without a doubt, they're Marxists. And when I've talked about this overreach, you know, if they'd have been a little bit clever, they know they haven't got time. They know that their ideas are so radical, they're so destructive. I could have just said Marxist, but they want to wreck the place. They've managed to wiggle their way into power, and they want to just smash the place up while they've got time. And they know they won't have 4 years. They know, and they'll lose the house just to get this shit through. And my point is, just call them what they are, because we're cutting them too much slack by calling them the Biden administration or the Democrats. You know, that's just marketing. That's like BLM. The Democrats, because every time you say Democrat, you say democracy. But when you say communist, you say communist. I'm going to show you a little bit of a video. It's only 3 minutes. I won't play all of it, but I was quite impressed that Marsha Blackburn just straight in. She was just straight in there with socialists. Check it. One sec.
The American people, and indeed Tennesseans, are not anti-vax. What they are is anti-socialism.
Amazing. This is an amazing opening to a talk about, we'll call it the fan date. This is an thank you, Pax Max. This is an amazing way of opening a speech. I mean, that's incredible. It's so powerful. And I don't think Brits necessarily understand, because although we were on the edges, the fringes of the Cold War, you know, I don't think we had it quite like America did. We didn't have Reds under the bed. And McCarthy was right. McCarthy, as history has proved him to be right. The government is riddled with communists, and everyone was like, this is paranoia. Oh, right. Who's in power today? And I think when she says socialism, socialists in America, that goes down. That is a heavy. That she's firing her meme cannon off like a fucking 500 mil rounds. It's an amazing opening, so powerful. We'll have it again.
The American people, and indeed Tennesseans, are not anti-vax. What they are is anti-socialism. And what they see happening with this vaccine mandate, this one size fits all, government going to tell you what to do, how to do, when to do. They see this as a part of the Democrats' agenda to take control of your life, cradle to grave, daily.
And that is exactly right. This is just the free stuff thing. This is why communists actually attain power, because they've coddled the children. The government does this for you. The government does this. The government does this. No, we don't want the government. We want the government should be a tiny little administration that sorts out things that a government needs to. Just stick to those basic things. There's not a lot of them. It's like the military, roads, taxes. Fuck off. Keep your hands out of our everyday life. But communists don't. Communism is when you are them. They are you. There's no separation. It's like, oh, it's all over now. Cradle to the grave. That's what big government is such a ridiculous understatement for communism. They know everything about you. Let's not, in the Soviet Union, people were grassing up their parents, which we saw a couple of years ago. We saw schools telling their children, if their parents are going to certain websites, let us know. Fuck off. How dare you? How dare you divide families based on your political biases? You're meant to be a fucking teacher, and you're making kids stupider, and you're making kids ugly things. But this is it. This is that they've been through an education system where the entitlement of the youth today is shocking. We want free education. Why? What about all the other people who want free education? Can everyone have free university? Oh, in your utopia, how are you going to pay for that? Do you remember that geezer I played it the other week? He said, even if you were to tax the top 1%, and you always hear about the top 1%, even if you were to tax them at 100%, that wouldn't even do Medicare for 3 years. If you were to tax the top 1% of American earners, all these so-called billionaires, that wouldn't even do Medicare for 3 years. That's before we get to education. That's before we get, it's just pie in the sky nonsense, because they don't understand the economy, because they've never studied it. They talk about, we're going to all start marching and we want this, we want that. If you want something, go and fucking work for it. Pull your finger out your ass and go and generate some wealth. Like the people you want taxing at 100%.
Light to dark, 24/7, 365. And they're pushing back. And thank goodness that they are. And I'm grateful that Senator Braun is leading this effort to help push back on behalf of the American people. They do not want a one-size-fits-all mandate that is going to adversely impact 80 million workers. Now,
just think about those numbers. Just think about it. We already saw it in Chicago. 4,500 old Bill were going to lose their jobs. And of course, once they saw those numbers, I saw some, I think I've got the clip up, which to see it in a minute. Some Australian bloke says, short of holding them down and sticking the needle in them, this is all we can do. I wonder how far away actually that is. I wonder how far away that is. Just grab them in the street. Have you got your card? No. No one here would be surprised. No one would be surprised. Yeah. Nice one, John. Oh no, fuck those bastards. I know it inside out. It's a terrible thing. It's a terrible, terrible thing. Thank you, John. Much appreciated. Yep, that's a great point. And they have a turnover about 6 weeks. People stay working there for 6 weeks. It's hell on earth. It's absolute hell on earth. If you seized every penny from the top 1%, it would run Biden's government. Well, although they've got that, I think they've passed that 1.5 trillion. That's gone through. Here, there's only 1 million pages to read by tomorrow morning. Have a look at that and then tell us what you want to say. It's madness, absolute madness. Anyway, a little bit more of this, but the main point was our opening with the socialism.
This is at a time when we have 10.4 million jobs that are unfilled, and we have families that are struggling to come back from the pandemic, and people that are trying to get back to work. And
right on that note, that is why Zeitgeist has nailed it. Exactly. That's just keep coming in because we fucked it. We fucked it and we need to get out of it. Oh, yeah. Yeah. However, we're talking about firemen and police. I mean, it really doesn't add up. You know, when you look at it like that, when you look at the reality of it, it's like, oh, I wonder why every other communist human experiment has ended up in piles of bodies like no one's ever known. It's ridiculous. Flabber Diddler. I wander godlike and victorious through the ruins of the world and give my words an active force. I will feel equal to the creator, Marx. I mean, the man was insane. In Das Kapital, right? Listen, you know, I have been trying to pump the steady. I've been trying to pump the utopianists. Let's call these what they are, utopianists. Flammadiddler, nice one for the quote, a nice one for the donation. John, I've got that, by the way, mate. I'll just make a note of that. Don't think that gets missed. In Das Kapital. Now, Das Kapital is where Marx outlines that it's meant to be the excuse me. It's meant to be the sort of the detailed outlining of the ins and outs of communism, the theories of surplus value, the labor theory of value, and it's hogwash. And there's a bit in it, right? And I have been in communist meetings where they've talked about this, and I was giggling, right? And I'll tell you, this is really weird. There's a bit in Das Kapital, if you want to call it that. And this is the Bible of communism, right? It's fucking massive. There's 3 volumes, and then you've got an extra, I think, if I remember rightly, there's an extra 3 volumes, which is called Volume 4. I might have this wrong. It's a long time ago since I read the words, but didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. There's another 3 volumes on surplus value. Anyway, there's a bit in Das Kapital where Marx says, he gives out this beautiful sort of thing. In communism, you'll wake up in the morning and go and do some gardening, and then in the afternoon a little bit of fishing, and then after that you'll go and lecture some school kids, and after that you might go do some manufacturing. It's just this absurd, almost pre-feudal sort of. It's just pie in the sky madness. It's just, how do you run an economy like that? Now, don't get me wrong. I like the idea, and this is why communism does get its teeth into young people, because it's immature, because it's not sophisticated, it's not realistic. Yeah, sure, that would be lovely. That would be lovely. But there's just very basic problems with that. Is everyone going to get a job teaching kids? What if they're not very bright? What if they've got nothing to teach them? What if so-and-so can't do that? What if this bloke can't do that? What if this bloke doesn't want to do that? You know, there's the problem with it is it lacks a single element which is kind of essential for any society to thrive. And it's called freedom. It's just not there. I think it's in the Communist Manifesto. You can summarize communism in a single sentence: the abolition of private property. Okay, so if no one owns anything, whose is it? Well, someone owns it. It's the state, but the state and the people are one. Well, hang on a minute. Well, so someone does own it, just not the people who work for it. I thought it was about the workers owning the means of production. So they all own it together. Okay. So whose is it? It's just bullshit. It's just bullshit. It's like it's sort of like a 14-year-old's first acid trip. Wouldn't it be lovely if like life was different? Yeah, it would be lovely if life was different, but sorry, mate, it ain't. It isn't. Let's have a look at this because it's nice. Cheers, John DW. John DW. John DW. John DW. He says, I hope the grift is strong. I have to go to work soon and deal with leaking waste pipes. No, you don't, John. John, you haven't got to go and do that. Go fishing. Go and teach some people something. Yeah. I mean, when I was a communist, Bally G said to me, who's going to clean the toilets in communism? And I was like, oh, this is a ridiculous argument. It isn't a ridiculous argument. It's actually a very important argument. Who's going to wade through sewers of shit? Who's going to do that? Is that the same people who are going to teach people? That's what the professors are going to do, is it? You know what Pol Pot done? He killed them all. Pol Pot killed all the intellectuals because they unstabilized things. He had children kill them. He had children who weren't stained by capitalism. Torture it out of them. Classic 2 + 2 is 5. Say it. 2 + 2 is 5. No, you don't mean it. Only when you've been re-educated do we take the electrodes off. Oh, too late. He's died. Just read the Gulag Archipelago if you want to know actually what happens in this airy-fairy communist world. And, and I said it the other... Exactly, Ollie, exactly. It's absurd, isn't it? I can't remember what I was saying, but I'm sure you've heard it before. There's only so much you can say about communism. But, the dream of communism compared with the historical realities, they couldn't be further apart. It's torture, it's murder, it's starvation, it's absolute censorship and absolute surveillance. And it sells itself as like a wonderland. Yeah, that sums it up. It's just not yours. That's amazing. It's just not yours. Yeah. It's funny, but it's murderous. Right. However, when I say the pushback is on, when I say that yeah, well, and it's all intentional, isn't it? It's all intentional. I love the way that the commies wear Che Guevara t-shirts. The man was an out-and-out racist and an out-and-out homophobe, and it's all documented in his own writing. The commies try and sort of, times were different then. Well, they were different in Jim Crow, but white people are still getting whipped about it today. Oh, no, without a doubt. Right, okay, this is really important. Disco Void. Hello, mate. Respectfully, though, surely some of Marx's criticisms of capitalism are valid, e.g. alienation, which is... without a doubt. Now, Disco Void, maybe you're new here or maybe you don't watch them all, but I have got myself in a lot of hot water because I talk frequently about Adorno and Horkheimer's criticisms of the culture industry. Hawker and Adorno were Frankfurt School Jewish Marxists, and I recommend people read their essays about the culture industry. Yeah, no way will I throw the baby out with the bathwater for this. No, but I am talking about the economy, really. I mean, alienation from labour is a real thing for sure. I believe in community, and the word communism comes from the same root as community. So, No, for sure, I'm not saying it's all nonsense, but I was then talking about Das Kapital, which is largely the economic analysis. But Marxist analysis of culture, Frederick Jameson, a dyed-in-the-wood Marxist. His book, The Cultural Logic of Late Capitalism, is a fantastic read. And much like Marx said that the seeds of capitalism's destruction are part of capitalism. And the seeds of Marxism's destruction are within Marxism. That's a little dialectic that Marx didn't want to dance with. But no, for sure, I thoroughly agree with that. I don't chuck it all out. And essentially, the Marxist, the Frankfurt School analysis of culture are absolutely spot on. And if you haven't read The Culture Industry, it's brilliant. It's a scathing critique of corporatism, which is where we are. We're hardly capitalist, and the last 2 years has destroyed the sort of essence of capitalism, which is SME, small medium enterprise businesses, which you could suggest it almost might have. I've got to be careful. Might have had something to say about that. Might have been somewhat intended. Mousecat, nice one. I fell asleep yesterday only to wake up to the Zeitgeist, the last one. I realised that documentary is all about Marxist cultural ideology. Sneaky bastards trying to get me in my sleep. I don't know what Zeitgeist is. Is it a TV series or something? And Zeitgeist is... I don't know what it is, Mousecat. You'll have to fill me in. I'm sure other people recommend what you're talking about. Understand what you're talking about, sorry. Nice one on the donation, though. I like the idea of something playing while you're asleep. You blaming them. Broken Silence had a Che Guevara poster on his wall. He neither knew what it was or how near it was to coming true. Now I've unrolled my old Debbie Harry poster. Much better. I mean, every art school I went to, when the first year students come in, they all come in, all first year art students turn up looking relatively normal. Give them about 6 weeks, they've shaved one side of their head off, they've got their nose pierced, Che Guevara posters go up, they start talking about communism that they don't know anything about. I want a communist revolution. Okay. Can you tell me how communism regulates value with no markets? Sorry? Yeah, I can't do this to you. It's too sad. You'll start crying in a minute. I know that Zeitgeist is a scrub, but I can't imagine he's talking about Zeitgeist. I don't know what it is, Pax Max. I have no idea what it is. Zeitgeist is a documentary about changing the world. Oh no, I know nothing about this. Honey Monster says it was about 10 years ago. Absolutely, Al. Absolutely. I mean, it's the first step. It's the first step because corporates are multinationals. Yeah. I know what that is, 6 Gorillium sea monkeys. I know what a Zeitgeist is, but I think they're talking about a show or a documentary or something. Willow reckons you're drinking Mrs. Minnie's Kool-Aid and now you're talking in encrypted codition. Look it up. It's a documentary. Zeitgeist moving on. Will do. It would appear that every other scrub has seen it except me. Kjetil describes it as a utopian conspiracy documentary. The solution is for us all to be run by some kind of supercomputer, if I remember correctly. Documentary or historical document? Jess says, laugh out loud. My ex done the same thing. Nice lad when he went to uni. Now he's got piercings and wears makeup and all that shit. Get photos, because once he starts paying taxes and trying to get a job. Yeah, so you missed it as well, LC. That makes me feel a little bit better. Yes, ugly truth. Very funny though. I like the fact that the old dear called him Foxy. Hello, Foxy. All right, I will have a look. Right, now, let's have a look at this, because I've got 3 videos, and they're all kind of similar. I'm going to have to say something that I don't know what you'll think of my comment on this. This made my heart start beating, and there was a bit of me. I thought he was talking about you. I thought that he fell asleep during the stream and woke up to your message. That was the last thing he saw. But then when he said it was about some commie indoctrination, I thought that don't sound like zeitgeist to me. But he's loving his name all over the chat. We're all narcissists at heart. Right. Oh, hang on a minute. Speaking of zeitgeist, this is very kind of you. Right, so when I watched this next clip, people, it got my heart going, and there was a bit of me just thinking, yes. Now, I'm not. Well, let's have a look at it. But before we have a look at it, we'll have a look at this. Push, bing, pang, pong, po. Man, do I need a wee. I'll save it though. Zeitgeist. We are the Eloi, which makes them Morlocks. Oh, bloody hell. People talking about more things that I haven't got a clue about. Who are the Eloi? We are the Eloi, which makes them the Morlocks. Anyone want to help me out? I'm feeling very stupid today. Zeitgeists, and then Zeitgeist, who isn't the other Zeitgeist, is talking about Eloise and Morlocks. This isn't fair. I like to think the Time Machine movie. What's the Time Machine movie? Is that the Eloi and the Morlocks? Oh God, I don't know what's happening. What am I not watching? How comes everyone knows about this stuff and I haven't got a clue? Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't. I mean, I've listened to the first few minutes. My next door neighbor used to play the soundtrack, some weird musical, and it kind of put me off it. I can assure you it doesn't, John. I can assure you it doesn't. I'll let you know, though. Or unless you're saying it affects it in the positive. Good call, Rothschild. Good call. I thought Lumi had perked up. he wasn't even watching the stream. It hit him in the communal consciousness of fantasy people. Futuress, good lord. Future. We are watching Zeitgeist while you're watching Gamergate. There you go. I win. Now, thank you, Zeitgeist, for that entropy. Machano Capricciatato. Very, very kind of you. Right. Have a look at this. This was in London yesterday in Parliament Square. And I'll be honest with you, it took me back to the poll tax riots. Now, when I say I was at the poll tax riots, I was there by accident. We all got on the train at Dartford. Most of you know this. A few of us got on the train at Dartford. We all ate an eighth of soap bar. By the time we got for Charing Cross, we were like, and fuck me, man, that wasn't what we expected. It was kicking off, man. But there's something about that kind of thing that, I like the people fighting back. I like it. Have a look at this. Yesterday, Parliament Square. The anger of these people, the anger of them, they've got up there, they've gone out there, and they're fucked off. They've had enough. They've had enough of what they've seen happening in their country. And they do them. They push the police back. Now, it weren't long ago that the police were smashing people over the heads, and I think they realised that you need a bit of consistency, because it was only a couple of weeks before that. Look how amazing history is. How bad does it already look that our police were kneeling to people in the street just because of the colour of their skin? How bad is that already? You know, these things used to take decades until the sort of hype had fallen off. Apparently, support for BLM in America is at its lowest ever. It's just gone. People are like, fuck all that, you know, because we are in an information age. It doesn't take 20, 30 years for the truth to get out there. You know, you get this sort of like wash, you know, tsunami of mainstream media interpreting events for you. But once they've moved on to something else because they need to keep their plummeting viewers at least turning the fucking television on, the internet's actually continuing its analysis, and people are just like, nah, it's a lot of bollocks and we ain't having it. And the anger of these people, they've seen what's happening to their country. These are good, strong English people, and they're like, no, fuck you. And listen out for what some of the, yes, there's a lot of expletives, but there's also join. They're saying join us. You hear people saying you are us, and they are. These old Bill, these front, you know, who gets put down the front line? Do you reckon it's the middle classes? Do you reckon it's the educated people? No, these are working class coppers. No, you fuck off. You go down there. We ain't doing that. We went to a better school than you. I mean, I'm not sure if you're aware, they are actually now circled. Or should I say encircled? And you know, this might sound unpleasant. It might sound somewhat naive, but the sound of that anger fills me with optimism. Because people have had enough. This is their lives. These are people's lives, and they're being destroyed by communists. Imagine being one of those riot police. And you know, they spend their lives being indoctrinated. You can guarantee that when they go to work, their superiors will be making sure that they get a fair amount of indoctrination. You know, where they don't teach them anything about policing or the law. It's just ideological shit. They just remind them why that they have to do that. Can you imagine them getting home, getting back to their little working class estate and thinking, I'm one of these people. These are my people. Imagine trying to sleep. Imagine your missus seeing this on telly and thinking, my husband is by far in the minority here. Must be fucking hard. I am. This is pity I'm having for them here, because they've been cheated. They've been lied to. You know, I honestly believe. I know there's the old meme, but it's a cliche that the bloke that got picked on at school became a copper. I don't necessarily think that. I think a lot of people joined the police because they thought they were doing a decent thing, because they wanted to have an effect, a positive effect on their community. I honestly think that. Not all of them, for sure. But imagine getting home after this and imagine seeing the comments on videos like these and just thinking, who am I protecting? What am I protecting? You know, what were these people going to do? What were they going to do? Are they going to blow up Parliament? I doubt it. And they were there. Did you see them couple lash out there? Just mad anger. Fuck her. Just a couple of coppers. I kind of get the joke, Dennis, but I think they do. I think we have to remember that these are people. You know, they are humans, and I don't think you can not. I don't think you can not think that. I don't think they're robots. I think that they are humans, and I think they have to. They live a life of dissonance, cognitive dissonance. I'm just going to take it back a couple of seconds because some absolute genius. You'll hear it. Some absolute genius has taken an air raid shelter to this. An air raid siren. My mate had one. I just wanted to buy it. When I used to be in bands, he would not sell it. He had it in his garden, and you could do it. And it'd go. You know, this was to let a whole town know that it was time to get in your Anderson shelter. Some absolute genius took one, and they're not small unless he's like, this is a digital one and it's on a sample. It's listen to the air raid siren going off, and what an amazing audio aesthetic it gives to proceedings. You know, an air raid siren is the sound of an air raid siren runs through the blood of English people because it means warning. You know, warning. Listen to it. It's amazing. Fucking air raid siren. Right, so on the Honeymoon's Day signals the end of life as we know it. It really does, doesn't it? What a sound. What an absolute sound. Yes, what is it? Two Tribes, I think. Frankie Goes to Hollywood. This is Parliament Square, London. Now, so that was London. On the back of that, now this one's really interesting because this is, I've got to be careful. You know what this is about. They don't want to have a certain passport. But this is Morocco. Now, their governments in these countries are a lot harsher, but check this out. This is Morocco a couple of days ago. Oh, I'm just watching that on my own, aren't I? I'll cut us some slack. I've been sick. Here we go. You got audio? You got audio? Thank you. I mean, that's incredible. That's incredible in Morocco. I mean, that's a fucking risk. Trust me. I know people who are out there. Dawn Browning's back. The whole Western world needed an air raid siren back when a New Zealand company owned a ship landed back in the 40s. Dover needs several every flipping day. Yeah. What a sound it is, though. What a powerful sound. So that I thought that was quite something. And another one. This one is fucking massive, and this is in a country that has really been cucked. It's been cucked with enrichment, and I've got friends out there because I spent a lot of time out there in my teens. This is Belgium. Check this out. Amazing. Yeskin scarf. There's a lot of people there. It does feel like hope. It does feel like hope. You know, these aren't people people are being politicized, and that's the first step. That is the first step. You know, we've talked about people waking up, and then the word was, well, people don't need waking up. People know what's going on. They need to get active. Yes, darling? What? You drunk now? What the fuck?
I love you.
Right, go on. No, I need a wee, and you're making it worse. What? What is it? Oh, shush, you'll get me in all sorts of amber shame problems. Thank you. Right, so yeah, please, this is important what I'm talking about. Exactly, Will. Exactly what it feels like. But people have woken up. People know what's going on, and now they're being politicized. But they're being politicized because, you know, and I've said this for a long time. Everyone's got their breaking point, and when it's like you do this or you lose your job. You do this or you don't get to go to these places, and people are just like, well, hang on a minute. This doesn't sound like freedom. This doesn't sound like my nation. And so and I am absolutely convinced that you know, just last week, right, I was apologizing because everything that I looked at that was going on in America, what Ted Cruz, Rand Paul, Jim Jordan et al was saying, and what the communist administration out there had been doing, I was left with, this is madness. The southern border, the energy independence to begging OPEC, handing over energy dominance to Iran, China, and the neo-Soviets. And you know, now if that Nord 2 goes ahead, Putin's got Europe by the balls, and that weird triangular of fucking China, Iran, and the neo-Soviets have got the world by the energy balls. And so all I was left with, well, this is insanity. But when I see Tucker Carlson say this is madness, when I see Jim Jordan say this is insanity, and when I see John Kennedy say this is insanity, I was like, well, I don't feel so stupid now, because this is just madness. And what it is they know, the Biden administration knows they can't spread this bullshit out over 4 years because it's radical communism, and they want to. And again, communism seeks to destroy. And especially in this world of communication and information, they can't sort of do the blag. They can't outright say, we're going to change the nation into a communist state, because there'd be an insurrection by dinner time. So they can't actually say that. But what they can do is the changes in the necessary changes in the social relations required to cause that, and that is to destroy what's already there. And so when I was like picking my own brain last week, thinking, you know, why are they just blatantly fucking it up in such a short space of time? They're not even hiding it. They've got this deranged, mentally ill, old, non-functioning bloke who just sort of waddles out, shits his pants, and then goes, yeah, it won't cost this $4.5 trillion plan that none of you have got enough time to read. And oh, ice cream, what? You know, they don't care about that. They knew that would be the case. They just had to have someone standing there, and in the background they're trying to destroy America. And that's why when I said, have they done so much damage in 11 months, it's because they know they won't have time. They know that they won't get 4 years of this. There's not a chance. So they'd get, you know, they just haven't got 4 years. It might look like they've got 4 years in power, But America's not having this. It's already not having it. The gubernatorial races are the start of the turnaround. And I'm very optimistic. Dawn Browning, well, take everything away from you if you don't agree. It's your choice. Yeah, exactly that. It's, what did I say, called it the other day? Hobson's choice, isn't it? Hobson's choice. It's no choice at all. Nice one, Dawn. Thank you. Hello, Tim. How you doing, mate? I went to a protest in Milan yesterday. Still disheartening to see so many people in bars and restaurants with their passes carrying on with life like everything else is fine. Yeah, and you're going to get that. You're going to get that for a while because, you know, they're the people who, you know, if you've made that choice, you can't understand all this. But what they should understand is, you know, it's not a choice, a Hobson's choice for a start. And I know what you mean by disheartening, because they don't realise that next month it's going to be another choice they've got to make. And then the month after that, there'll be another choice they've got. And it will get to them, because communists want their hands in everything. Communists want to wipe your ass. There's no part of your life they don't want a say in. That's how it works. That's how you get to own nothing. That's how you don't get to generate wealth. That's how you don't get to make choices, because you are not a free person. You are part of the state. You're an instrument of the state, and I just don't think they've realised that yet. You know, and if fuck knows why. I mean, what are they? Where are they getting their information from? Well, it'll be the Guardian, probably just the Guardian. Absolutely shocking. Well, that hasn't been proved yet. I mean, it brings us nicely to the fact that Project Veritas has got raided by the FBI. What, for being journalists? You know, that Project Veritas apparently was handed a diary that apparently belonged to Biden's granddaughter. I don't think it was his daughter. Was it his daughter? I thought it was his granddaughter. Well, it doesn't matter. And in the diary, apparently there's some pretty dark stuff involving Joe Biden and young children. What a surprise. What? Joe Biden? No. This can't be right. But Project Veritas couldn't verify its legitimacy, its validity. They couldn't. What's the word? Its authenticity. So they turned it down. They still got raided and arrested. They've arrested some Project Veritas journalists. You know, it's all very well to you can be an activist journalist and say what you fucking want. But you can't be a journalist who investigates stories to try and find out. I know you're not allowed to say it, but the truth. And no, you get arrested for that now in America. Fuck me, man. What the hell? What the hell? Hello, Windy. Nice to see you. MC says, I hear that China owns the US through unpaid debts. Well, my man on the ground in Beijing says the Chinese economy is about to collapse. So there's a lot of to and fro going on there. But when they start talking about reunifying Taiwan, you've got to ask why, because Taiwan's economy is far from on its knees. You know, apparently in China, there's housing projects that just sprawl for miles and there's no one living in them. And they're deteriorating. They're becoming slums. Slums with no one in it. It's well, who buy though, Dennis? Look, I don't know, so I can't say. But how do you confirm something like that? The New York Times have confirmed it. Good Lord. Well, we'll never hear about that again. Let's see. The New York Times Biden diary. Well, all I can find in the New York Times is people tied. Yeah, let's have a look. Let's see what the New York Times says. People tied to Project Veritas scrutinized in theft of diary from Biden's daughter. The FBI carried out search warrants in New York as part of a Justice Department investigation into how pages from Ashley Biden's journal came to be published by a white... Did you hear that Freudian slip? By a right-wing website. James O'Keefe, this is interesting the way they've said that, though, because I don't think Project Veritas published any pages. I might be wrong. I could be wrong. I could be right. The Justice Department searched 2 locations associated with the conservative group Project Veritas as part of a conservative group. That's incredible. They're just journalists. As part of an investigation into how a diary stolen from President Biden's daughter Ashley came to be publicly disclosed a week and a half before the 2020 presidential election, according to people briefed on the matter. So is this saying it's real? This is from the man at Veritas. It appears the Southern District of New York now has journalists in their sights for the supposed crime of doing their jobs lawfully and honestly, said Mr. O'Keefe, referring to federal prosecutors in Manhattan. Our efforts were the stuff of responsible, ethical journalism, and we have no doubt that Project Veritas acted properly at each and every step. Well, there you go. This is what I thought. Project Veritas did not publish the diary, but dozens of handwritten pages from it were posted on a right-wing website on October the 24th, at a time when Donald J. Trump was seeking to undermine Biden's credibility by portraying his son as engaging in corrupt business dealings. The posting was largely ignored by other conservative outlets and mainstream media. The website said it obtained the diary from a whistleblower who worked for a media organization that refused to publish the story before the election. Mr. O'Keefe said that in the video that tipsters had reached out to Project Veritas in 2020 to alert them to the existence of the diary, saying that they had stayed in a room that Miss Biden had recently been in. But Mr. O'Keefe said his group could not authenticate the diary and made an ethical decision not to publish it. I'm not sure if this is saying that it's legit. I think this is an article about the FBI getting hold of them. I mean, if you can give me more information, Dennis, and tell me what to search for, I will do. But I think they don't seem to be saying that it was legit. There would seem to be a few corrections underneath it, though. But I'll tell you what, I'll put that link in the chat, and if you want to go and follow it up for yourself. Dennis, it doesn't say it in the title. In the title, it says that people tied to Project Veritas are being scrutinized in theft of a diary from Biden's daughter. That's not the same as the implication. That's not saying that the diary contains anything about Biden diddling his daughter or anything, does it? That just says that they're investigating claims that someone nicked a diary. That's my point. I mean, come on, I'm not standing up for these arseholes. While we're on the subject of Biden, this is quite an interesting little video. Let's have a little look at this.
When the cost of a gallon of gasoline gets to above $3.35 a gallon, Russia and including is not right. You have the significant number of, I forget the number. Polls are going to go up and down and up and down. They were high early, then they got medium, then went back up, and now they're low. Well, look, this is look at every other president. The same thing has happened.
The same thing as it always happens. No, it hasn't. It really hasn't. Misses me in it, right? I always enjoy these ones. Concentrate, people. We're going to get to start to finish, and we are going to achieve meaning and a coherent message. I am out this afternoon, knocking on doors with poppies in honor of brave people who defended our freedom. Now they want to take our freedom away. I am Spartacus. Good for you for doing that. Nice one, Mrs. Me in it. Lovely. I'll be interested to know what the response is like. I can't imagine liberals being too interested in that. But I think you live in quite a nice place. But let us know what's the response been like. 142 in the Sunday morning super grift. Amazing to see you all. If you're not subscribed to my Substack, link in the description. It's very good. I'll never monetize it. I write stories. There's 12 in there now, and they're awesome. Oh, and thank you, Scrubs, for reading them. I obviously see when they're read. And thank you for the amazing comments on the latest one. That means a lot to me because that was a lot of hard work, and it's 10,000 words. And thank you. Skin Scars dropped another 5 spot. Thank you, mate. Very kind of you. Appreciate it. Right, listen, so that I can go on without sitting here barely able to concentrate, I'm going to have a little wee-wee. Thank you, Skin Scar. Right, I'll tell you something else. Just while we're on that Substack thing, listen. The Substack do a thing called the shout out. Right now, Kieran, am I right in thinking you've got a Substack? So next time they do a shout out, I'm going to pop the link in the chat here, and everyone who's reads my stories, you can just go over there and go, actually, I think you need to have an account. No, you don't need to have an account. You can just go over there and go, oh, Chris Dangerfield, and then link to it, and that would be nice. But I shouted out Loomy's one the other day. But it's funny because everyone's doing it. The shout outs are just like everyone's got hold of all their friends. Go and tell them to go and read mine. You all right, love?
Yeah.
Good.
Hot.
It is hot. I just turned the fan up, actually. Right. This is quite interesting. A really unpleasant racist. I mean, it's weird that the word racism has almost come to mean nothing, but there are still times when it would appear to have a relevance. Check this out from our friend Memology. It's 1.5 minutes long. Wait till you get to the end. You'll see my point.
Joining me now to talk about all of this and more, our audience favorite justice correspondent at The Nation and my pal, Ellie Miss.
Just note that bit there. Our audience's favorite. Why would he be their favorite? He must have something great to offer. I mean, he's obviously some kind of university lecturer, the sort of people you want, the sort of person you want putting his ideas into young, vulnerable minds. Check it out.
Audience favorite justice correspondent at The Nation and my pal, Ellie Mistal. Ellie, so happy that you're here because in this Ahmaud Arbery case, where the jury is all white and you had these men declaring themselves, deputizing themselves.
Never say the jury is all black. I mean, do you remember it was only a matter of years after the O.J. Simpson case that more than one black juror come out and said, we were always going to say he was innocent because we were getting one up on the white man. Those videos are out there. This isn't me just making that up. You can find black jurors saying, we were always going to say that OJ was innocent. Nice. That's good. That's good. But apparently a jury full of white people, there's something wrong with that. That ain't allowed. Continue.
Somebody to, shoot this man. When I was watching this case, I thought about the Supreme Court Second Amendment case and expanding gun rights. And I think about the 3 men who are accused of killing Ahmaud Arbery having more access to guns. It does not seem like a good combination.
Yeah, I think that's actually...
Right, hold tight, people, and listen to what this fucker actually has the gall to say in modern America on MSNBC, right? Just try and get a bit of this critical distance and try and see this from a fresh position. This is actually mainstream media in modern America. Watch.
Actually links up with your prior segment and the Biden press conference, because what the Democrats' theory of the case is that the white non-college educated voter cares about things like kitchen table issues, like infrastructure and pipes and how many gallons of milk you can put on the table. I contend that what they care about is using their guns on black people and getting away with it. That's what they want. That's what they actually are in it for.
You're a racist.
I mean, it's just mind-blowing that this is a guest on a mainstream media channel. It's just mind-blowing. They want white people to have guns to kill black people and get away with it. Mate, have you had a look at the crime statistics all over America, from east to west, north to south? Have you even had a little... a little superficial glance at the crime statistics and who's getting away with it? Maybe have a look into that. Maybe have a look into who's shoplifting and getting away with it in Democrat-led states. It's just mind-blowing. And that just goes out, and then there's more, and then there's more, and then there's more. Carlson, hello, mate. This doesn't sound good. Nice one on the donation. I had to go to accident and emergency days after violent withdrawals and sickness. I admitted I needed help after overdosing. I was told that it could have killed me. So now I'm starting an alcohol support program. Carlson, why didn't you ask, man? Coming off of alcohol can kill you. For sure. I'm not getting at you, man. But, I could have told you, most of the people here could have told you that. Just stopping drinking can kill you. And you've obviously nearly got there. No, absolute fair play for putting your hands up and admitting that. And maybe that is the gift of desperation that's just landed on you, because, that was close. If you ended up in A&E, you were close to dying. So congratulations. If you want to email me, ask me anything. If you want to email me just to speak, and sometimes it helps. Sometimes it helps you get an understanding just if you write it down, and you can send it to me or not send it to me. I won't judge you or anything. Chris@chrisdangerfield.com. Can we have a K in the chat for Carlson, who's obviously going through an absolute nightmare? But get some help with your detox, for sure. For sure. You know, they'll give you a few tablets that will not kill you. But nice one for admitting it. And now you're on the start of a journey to reclaim your future. K in the chat for Carlson. I think that is a good thing. Well done, mate. Fair play. Now it's time to sort it out. Andy Mack is off to the shop, back in 10 minutes. He's off to get some poppies. He always gets them for his wee ma, although she's no longer with us. Lovely, lovely. Nice one, Andy. Look after yourself, Carson, for fuck's sake. That geezer, though. Can you believe that geezer? And he's saying this about the Biden administration. This is how batshit crazy these people are. They, you know, the Biden administration want white people to get away with killing blacks, do they? I mean, he'll say this. That bloke will say this anywhere. If you're going to accuse the Biden administration of that, I mean, makes absolutely no sense. Not a problem, man. I'm glad you're fucking still with us. That is a rough justice. So I'm assuming you've been drinking quite a lot. Look at all those K's, brilliant stuff. Yeah, and if you want to write to me, email me or whatever, anytime, not a problem at all. Hello, Jeremy. You all right, son? I knew someone would do that. I nearly said 2Ks in the chat, but I thought that's putting it on a plate for you. Right, hang on, I've got something else for you, and then we'll get on to discussing Rittenhouse. This is quite interesting. This geezer, I've nicked this from the what are they called again? The Next News Network. I say it every time. The Next News Network have been going for about 9 years, and they just had no traction, but they've just blown up. They've got over 2 million followers now, subscribers, sorry, and they're putting out really good stuff. It's really, you know, just if you need little snapshots of what's going on and you haven't got time to read old stories, but I've shifted it forward because this bloke sums it up really well. I just thought this was a really good summary because Let's Go Brandon, again, it's not going anywhere. It's getting bigger. It's getting bigger. And this is an incredible power of memery. And I think we'll start seeing the whole meme war. This will be what? Is this the fourth meme war? I think the fourth meme war leading up to the midterms is gonna be a very powerful part of the destruction of the Democrats in the midterms. I'm going to do a 12-hour stream on the midterms because I have got that much faith that it's going to be a bloodbath. That I'll tell you now, we're going to have a 12 hours. It won't be from the beginning, but we'll make sure that all the good stuff happens around the sort of third quarter, so to speak. But this is really interesting because he says something, and there's a lovely sort of microcosm, macrocosm thing going on here. Check it.
Here's Jim Sciutto from CNN. Think about the lesson the Let's Go Brandon crowd is teaching their children.
Now, think about the lesson that the people are saying, "Let's go, Brandon." Think about what that's saying to their children. I mean, Madonna saying that she's thinking about bombing the White House. I mean, don't worry about what that impression is giving to their children. I mean, it's all right to punch Nazis. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about the thing we saw on CNN the other day about a 13-year-old giving the fingers up to some people protesting the Max mandates. No, don't worry about that. Oh, no, let's go, Brandon is the message that's going to ruin our children. Yeah, sure. Kids don't swear. No.
That tweet lit up the social media platform. Some responses to that were staggering hypocrisy and gaslighting. Another, people like this aren't serious. They act like 2017, 2020 never happened. And you're supposed to be a journalist, not a lapdog. What do you make of it?
Right, so this is a fantastic little summary of what's actually going on. I was very impressed with this. Check it.
Well, you know, it was the cover-up that made this clip go viral in the first place. That
is an amazing point because there's your microcosm. The woman interviewing Brandon who won the race, she knew they weren't saying "Let's go, Brandon." It's not. That's not. Oh, is it? They were saying FJB without a doubt. They were. So you've got a media cover-up that started it. The irony is just dripping. It's just incredible that a media spin. Oh, they're saying that. I better say they're saying this. That started it. And that's what makes this, this is Mandelbrot kind of pattern generating.
Whether this NBC reporter knew the chant was one thing or it was "Let's go, Brandon," it was emblematic of the cover-up we're seeing right now. No, don't listen to what the crowd is saying. Don't listen to the inflation numbers. Don't listen to our border. Don't listen to the crime. Don't listen to what happened in Afghanistan. That was a great success. The media will cover at every turn. And
that's exactly it. That what she done there is the same as what the media do all the time. Oh no, don't worry about the fact that we were energy efficient and now we're literally begging OPEC. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about the southern border. No, everything's fine now. We'll be fine. Don't worry about the massive inflation. Don't worry about food not being on shelves. Don't worry about your kids being told they're racist. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about that. No. It's all fine. That is the same as that woman saying, "Oh, they're saying, well, let's go, Brandon." Amazing. It is, don't look at the man behind the curtain. This is the media now. I mean, if you just watch CNN, which I have done, just watch a bit of MSNBC, you think America was flying. You think it was just, yay, this is what a paradise. Honestly, crime is through the roof. Violent crime is through the roof. It already was through the roof. It's just going crazy now. Democrat policies are falling apart all over the place. People don't want the old bill defunded. They want more money going to them. The southern border is an absolute catastrophe. There's people on government terrorist watch lists coming through. That's been proven. The energy thing is just, why hasn't a single mainstream media said, under Trump we were energy independent and exporting gas and oil. Now we're fucked. Why haven't they said that? No, it's great. It's better for everyone. It's better for everyone. It's just incredible. I've never seen America in such a terrible state. And if you watch the mainstream legacy media, you'd think it was paradise. It's absurd. All they're talking about is Carl Rittenhouse yawning. There was about a 30-minute piece on him yawning. Oh, don't talk about what's actually happening in the case because it's it's just a mess. The case is hilarious. We'll get onto that in a minute. We'll give that a few minutes because it needs talking about. But let's hear the rest of this fella because it's good.
And so "Let's go, Brandon" has become the rallying cry for Americans who say, we don't buy what you're selling. We don't want the policies you're selling. And we're willing to have a sense of humor, Harris. How about that? It's amusing. It's funny. It's politics. It's our viral world we live in right now. It was one of the most popular Halloween costumes. It was #1 on the Apple iTunes chart for people are laughing about it because if they weren't laughing, they'd be crying about the direction of our country based on what Joe Biden.
And there you go. It's a great point. Right, I ain't got long left because it's getting a bit dark and my missus will be getting a little bit bored soon. So I imagine most of you have watched a fair amount of the Rittenhouse trial. So there's a few things happening here as far as I can gather, and I'll give you my spiel on it and I'm sure you'll give me yours. This should have never have gone to court. This should have never have gone to court. The evidence was already there. This is madness, right? So there's that. This is politics, right? That's happened. This is politics. This isn't law. I mean, it's expressing itself as law, but it's essentially political, right? That's the first point. The prosecution, and I still I'm still not sure whether I've got this wrong. The footage we've seen is the prosecution, right? Because everyone they've called up everyone they've called up has just helped Rittenhouse. Every single person they've had on as prosecution witness, subpoenaed to give evidence for the prosecution, has fucked their case up. Well, that Rushbone bloke, he said, well, if I catch any of you on your own, I'm going to fucking kill you. Yeah, but he didn't say it to Carl, did he? No, but he was there and he said you guys. So, yeah, that's what he said. He went, oh, end of questioning. Everything. And the amazing thing about Rittenhouse's defense is no one's got to lie. And they would have said that to them. Rittenhouse defense would have said to all the witnesses, just tell the truth. We haven't got to, even when you're innocent, and I know this because I've been there, even when you're innocent, sometimes your defense will concoct a story and then you have to stick to the story. But the defense would have said, just tell the truth. And what a position to be in when you're sitting there with the cameras on you. You haven't got to, oh, hang on, I've got to remember that. No, this happened, then this happened. And then there was this, oh, we've got FBI footage from above, and when this comes out, it's gonna fuck the defense. Well, the FBI footage actually, no, it said the same as what everyone's saying. It worked for the defense. Now, again, I'm just stuck with this is madness. There's only one thing I can think that maybe the prosecution have got dirt on all the witnesses. They've got them lying somewhere else. They've got another witness that they're child abusers or this. So what they might be doing, and this is a real long shot, what they might be doing is putting all these witnesses out there who the defense will no doubt call, I imagine. And then they're going to say, so all we've heard is Rittenhouse's mate, Rittenhouse's brother, Rittenhouse's friend, Rittenhouse's dog walker's neighbor. They've all said this. But look, this bloke has done this bloke. So this is all, we can't trust any of them. That's all I can think, because this is madness. It's just everything. Apparently, the bloke who's doing the questioning, apparently he's only been doing this for a couple of years. And you'd think this was quite a big case. And this bloke's inept. You keep seeing him sort of going, didn't want that to happen. Now, there's a bit of me that's thinking, and I'd like to know what you think in the chat. There's a bit of me that thinks the prosecution, because they're prosecutors for the state, they're actually patriots. They know this kid is innocent. They know this kid acted in self-defense. It's obvious he did. The video evidence is so clear. This kid did not go out to kill anyone. They were chasing him down. He even warned someone who put his hands up. Then he dropped his weapon. Then the geezer went for his gun, and he's holding a gun. There's a bit of me thinks that the prosecution don't want this bloke to go to prison. They want justice. They know that the prosecution for the state know that this is political, and they don't want him to go away for it because they're so inept. This is a ridiculous trial. Every witness they've called has supported the defense. I'm just stuck with saying this is madness. It's almost like the whole of America is just crumbling because of the last 11 months of administration. This never went to trial 5 years ago. What is happening? Anyone know what's happening? Really? Does anyone think that the prosecution have made any points that would make people question the innocence of Carl Rittenhouse? Yeah, but Dennis, it doesn't look like it. It looks like the only scalp he's getting is his own. Well, this is what I'm thinking. This is what it looks like. I know that sounds almost absurd, but even the judge is so clearly on Rittenhouse's side. Well, Chuck, this is the other thing. I think because there's a few charges, isn't there? There's not just, there's no way. I mean, he's up for murder, I think. There's no way that this is murder. Manslaughter at best, but even then, self-defense trumps that. They were hitting him over the head with a fucking skateboard. They threatened to kill him previously. There was about 10 of them chasing him. And I think that, if he walks, there'll be problems. But then in that case, why did it even go? Because if it didn't go to court, no one would have known who Carl Rittenhouse was a week later, because the media needs to just keep giving people more things to worry about. I just don't understand what's going on. I mean, I don't think the defense need to really do much. I think the defense will stand up when it's their turn and say, you've seen the videos, you've heard the witnesses for the prosecution. I mean, is that jury really going to convict this kid of murder, even of manslaughter? No, it was blatant. It's blatant self-defense. Ah, that's interesting, Linda. The junior counsel got it because the prosecutor's office know he'll get off. Right, okay. Because the bloke who's sitting behind that fumbling, bumbling lunatic, he looks like it'd be trouble. He looks like he could put anyone away. But he's not doing a lot of it, is he? It's that weird bloke who's only been doing it for a couple of years. But it is weird, isn't it? It's really weird to watch. I mean, if this was a TV show, if this was Crown Court, sorry, you've got to be 40 or older and lived in England to know what Crown Court was. But if this was a TV show, it would get terrible reviews. You'd be like, no, it's just the court scenes were just bizarre. They didn't make any sense. This is terrible storytelling. This is terrible screenwriting. The prosecutors just, it's not real. That's what the reviews of a TV show would be. They'd be like, no, it's not realistic, What are people saying? No, it isn't an all-black jury. It isn't, apparently. But then, I used to love Rumpole of the Bailey. I don't know why. I didn't understand it. Yeah, well, John, I was thinking about that, and that's why it's gone to court in the first place. I mean, this is out and out self-defense. The video, there's video evidence from so many angles. It's blatant self-defense. The kid was Rittenhouse was offering non-partisan Red Cross to anyone. He wasn't going, oh, if you're a conservative, I'll help you out. He was offering anyone. When he's running away, he's shouting. It's on the video. It's friendly. I'm friendly. I'm friendly. He says it 3 times. And they still hit him over the head with a skateboard twice. They still hold a gun at him. He still goes to grab the gun. And cheers. I used to see it when I was off school sick, which was quite a lot of the time because I fucking hated school. The idea that this is a show trial to stop riots, well, it's now it's even bigger. And you're going to have people saying, oh, well, apparently now it's all right for gun-toting militia, right-wing white supremacists to kill people. This sends a message out to white supremacist America. It's just absurd. Oh, Chrissy, that's interesting. That is interesting. Yeah, no, and they've done him twice, and they stomped on his head. I mean, I'll tell you what, I think that, and this is just conjecture, this isn't legal, I think Rittenhouse done well to come out of that alive. I think if he hadn't shot and killed that one bloke, and if he hadn't blown the other geezer's bicep out of his arm, he would have probably been dead. Right. So if that's the case, that's self-defense. I reckon they would have killed him. There was loads of them chasing the kid. He was running away. If that's a threat to you, you just stop and let him run off. He was running away. He only turned around and got busy when after one geezer fucking clouted him around the back of the head, sucker punched him. That didn't take him down. He carried on running. No, me too, Dennis. Me too. He would have been killed. Those animals would have killed him. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Dinner time. After the ITV news with Michael Parkin. Something Parkin. It's a very peculiar situation. I mean, I've been glued to it. I really have. When I was sick and I couldn't use my eyes, I just had it on audio, and it was like, what the fuck is this? A very strange situation, and no doubt. Right, where are we going now? Right, listen. If you're not subscribed to my Substack, do us a favor. Link in the description. I'll never monetize it. If you like reading, if you like grotty stories from the dirty underbelly of humanity, my Substack is the place to go. You get a couple of stories a month straight to your email, and there's 12 in the archive. I usually stream twice a day, but my girlfriend's here, and I only stream once a day. Starts about 8:30 in the morning. I'll be there tomorrow morning at 8:30. You might get a couple because she's been here for quite a while and she's staying for a few more days. So I might do 2 tomorrow or Tuesday. Thank you to everyone who donated. Dawn Browning got another one in. Innocent or guilty verdicts will both be disastrous. Mistrial is their best option. A message has been delivered. BLM and Antifa have been a bit quiet lately. Yeah, that's very interesting, actually. Very interesting. Thanks for the donation, Dawn. And that, yeah. Well, BLM is just falling apart. No one likes it. Even Black America are like, where's the money? What have you done for us? Fuck all. So there you go. Thank you, Viking Woman. That's lovely. And a lot of you are reading it. Thank you, Mrs. Me in it. Yeah, man, a lot of people are enjoying it. Let me just check. I haven't missed an entropy. I have missed an entropy from old Jambo. Less of the old Jambo Rock. But I will be streaming again at 8:30 tomorrow morning, UK time. Thank you, Mrs. Minute. It's a cracking story, that new one, isn't it? What a thing to happen. Jambo says, Sunday £3. I'll take it, Jambo. Nice one. I hope your new job's still going well. I am so orange now, aren't I? It's ridiculous. People, thank you to everyone who donated. Thank you to everyone who got busy in the chat. Without you talking, I can't talk. Thanks to Rags and Moslab for looking after the place. If you're not subscribed to my Substack, get on that. Even if you don't like it, let me know why you don't like the stories. All good to me. It will only help me get better. And here we go. We will leave in the usual way with a bit of Bally G. And it's the newer one out of the two because I've quite got into it and it doesn't buffer as much. Nice one, Carlson. Thanks for that. It's the Cambodian Tan. Don't forget you can email me if you want, mate. And no dramas, no judging, nothing. I won't even give you advice if you don't want it. I'm just there to listen. Thank you, Carlson. You've all got a couple of minutes to donate if you really wanted to. Ta-da! Oh, come on. Terrible timing. Thanks again, Carlson. There you go. I'll fill the gap with another thank you. Yeah!
Tell your daddy you're fighting good. Feel the glory he said you would.
Yep, they're living it up. Nice white neighborhoods. Cheers, Dennis.
But you'll realize you've been sold when you feel the enemy's cold hard steel.
Nice one, Pax Max.
Feel the dawn of your final day. Feel the fear and go anyway. Get right in that big black plane.
Hey people, Rags is live on Scott's Armour this evening at 7:30 UK time. Check it out. It's a cracking show. Rags, I'll put the link in my Telegram. My Telegram is linked in the description. So if you want to check that out, I'll get the link off Rags and you can check him out. It's a good show. Ta-da! I wish there was a scrub coin. Nice one, Gerald. Cheers, Ralph. Look after yourself, John. Look after yourself, Otto. Nice one, Linda. Cheers, Crow. LC. Zen. Cheers, S. Giles.
Tell yourself it ain't really you. But when the slaughtering has begun, you'll be murdering someone's son. And you'll realize you've been sold when you feel the enemy's
Cold hard steel. Yeah.
Cause the wheels already been rolled when you feel the enemy's
Cold hard steel. Oh, Zeitgeist has dropped another 10 spot into entropy. Nice one, mate. Thank you very much, Zeitgeist. There you go. See it there? That was a bit of a bod sharer. Ta-da, Andy. Ta-da, humans. Cheers, Wolfie. Nice one, Phil Marshall Browning. I saw you when I got up in the middle of the night for a piss. What stream was that, Mark? I saw you there. I can't even remember. Cheers, Alan. Look after yourself, mate. Ball. There you go, people. There you go. Bosh, bosh, bosh. Oh, Chrissy, I'll get you a splendid chat sorted out. What a terrible shame. Let me see if I can just find it quickly. Oh, fuck. I think you deliberately... Oh, Chrissy, what's that? No splendid chat for you. Thank you, Chrissy. I'll see you all later. Tomorrow morning, 8:30.